Welcome to the second video in this series of presentations, which will focus on part 4, the delivery. Now, your opening is really important. One of the things that you should be focusing on is the body language. Try to have an opening and welcoming body stance. Prepare before you speak, and sigh out and breathe before you start speaking. The opening lines, you should plan these carefully to welcome and draw in the audience. Try to make them curious with the first couple of lines that you say in your presentation. And your PowerPoint, or at least the opening slide, can help you with the above. Make sure it complements and clarifies what you are saying in these opening lines to draw that curiosity out of the audience and engage them with your presentation. When you have said your name, wait before continuing. Have a slight pause. And having a pause, you'll see, is a general theme throughout this presentation. Now, one thing you should ask yourself is how you will use your slides. What will be your relationship with your slides? So you want to use them as a prompt. However, you want to turn away once prompted. The content should complement the delivery. And you want to ensure that the content serves a purpose. You can use charts, pictures, diagrams to help you with this. Connect with the audience. Pause between main points. Allow the audience to digest the information that you're giving them. And use the content to help pace the delivery. Continuity and engagement. Now, signposting is as important in a presentation as it is in writing or an assignment. It is important to continue to summarize from time to time. Draw together the main points made so far. And again, have a pause and allow the audience to digest that information. Pace is also important. Consider altering the pace of your delivery and pausing. This will help maintain interest and engagement throughout. For those of you who may not have a wide tonal range, you'll find the variance in pace can help add a little bit of interest to your delivery. And make sure you practice this. Shaping. What shape is this presentation? Does it occur to you that you can create a talk which has shape? And what tools can you use to form the shape of your presentation? I would suggest doing some research on this, but you want to have your presentation shaped in a way like a story. So you have a beginning, you have a middle, and then you have an end. Now, voice and the volume you use is also important. Speak firmly and at a good volume right from the start. And it's always good to sigh out and allow a natural in-breath and speak from the top of that breath. This will help you maintain the volume all the way to the end of your sentences. Expression. Avoid speaking into your notes with your neck bent. You will constrict the airflow and the sound will be directed into your notes and not out towards the audience. And reading from a script, the speaker can sometimes lose connection with the meaning of the words and read too fast. And then this is going to impact your engagement and connectivity with the audience. And audience connection is a really, really key aspect of a presentation. Look up from your notes as often as you can. Make eye contact with the audience. Pause to allow content to be absorbed or reflected upon, and be careful of focusing on one person. Try to vary your gaze across the room and avoid being over pally and making glib assumptions with any members of your audience. And then moving on to breathing. Now, the flow of the breath from your lungs causes the vocal cords to create vibrations. And of course, these vibrations are sound waves, which resonate in the space of the throat, mouth, and nose. The capacity of your lungs, the flexibility of your rib muscles, the control of the out breath all contribute to the quality of the sound you make. Remember to breathe during your delivery. And also practice breathing. Practice your presentation and try to understand where the best parts within your presentation are to breathe and take in them deep breaths to enable you to talk at a consistent volume throughout the entire sentence. As I have mentioned, pausing is quite important. You should pause before you begin to allow the audience to settle and focus on you. Pause before speaking so that you can breathe. Pause to allow the audience to take in what you have said. Pause for dramatic effect or emphasis if there's a really important part of your presentation. And pause to think before you speak. There are some tips or take-home messages on finishing a presentation. Ensure that your slides and you let the audience know that you are about to finish. Avoid using banal statements like the end. A talk normally ends by returning to the beginning and to review that journey that you've taken the audience on. It often does this in the form of a conclusion. Once you finish your presentation, don't just gather up your papers and rush off really quickly. Make sure you stay around for questions and to talk to any audience members that may want to know more about your research. Now, a lack of questions at the end of your presentation could indicate one of two things. It could mean that the audience is well satisfied and have got all of the information they would like, or it could mean that they didn't really understand all of the content and thus can't ask any questions. Include contentious material to generate questions. And it's good to do this towards the end of the presentation so it sparks people's interest in asking questions once you're finished.